Hey, what's up? This is Gardetrace. Now, I'm sure everyone could agree that Dragon Ball Super Episode 119 was straight up doo-doo burgers, because it really was. In this episode, we feature the last of the Universe 4 fighters as they get eliminated, which results in Universe 4 getting erased from existence. However, they would not go down without eliminating Piccolo first. So, what was wrong with this episode? Oh boy, where to begin? Okay, I'll begin with Piccolo. In this episode, we feature Piccolo as he gets eliminated by a bug. A fucking bug of all things. Because we have these fighters, as we have one fighter who's this chameleon guy, who they cannot see. He's able to camouflage himself, so he avoids detection. However, Piccolo is able to listen out for him, and then he winds up getting rid of his ass. And then we have another fighter who creates these illusions. However, these guys have showcased that they have some very gimmicky abilities. And then we introduce this last fighter who we think is also a invisible guy. However, it turns out that he's not really invisible. He's just incredibly small. He's really tiny. He's pretty much like Ant-Man on the field. He's this tiny little bug, and he manages to give the fighter some trouble, and he even goes on to eliminate Piccolo, which I think is the stupidest shit ever, that Piccolo got eliminated in this fashion. Because, well, earlier on in the episode, we have Gohan about to be eliminated, and then before Gohan can fall all the way out of the ring, Piccolo stretches out his arms, catches Gohan, and brings him back up to the stage. So then we have Piccolo, where he gets eliminated. What he could have done was stretch his own arms back up to catch the ledge in order to climb back up. But no, he didn't do that. We had a case of plot-induced stupidity right there, because it's like, let's get rid of somebody. Let's just get rid of Piccolo right now. Despite the fact that it really doesn't make any sense to get rid of him now. It's like, if we were gonna get rid of him, we should have done it much sooner. This reminds me of Lord Slug, when Piccolo could have stretched his arms out to give Goku energy, but no, he doesn't, as if he just completely forgot that he could do that. But this is just another example in where Piccolo just really goes down in an unbearably embarrassing way. It's just, my God, he got defeated by such a weak little enemy. It's like, okay, he's too small for you to see, but Piccolo, you have acute hearing. You should be able to hear all of his movements. You should be able to pinpoint exactly where he is, even if you can't see him. You're not utilizing the abilities that you have been established to have. How else would you have been able to hear Goku and Trunks' conversation from all those years ago, when Trunks is explaining the androids, as well as saying that he's the son of Vegeta and Bulma? Well, because your hearing's that damn good, you should have been able to easily hear this fuck coming and squash his little ass. Well, not literally squash, because, well, that would get you disqualified, but flick his little ass out of the ring. But no, we don't have that, so we just get rid of Piccolo. When it comes to Piccolo, he's really just been serving as Gohan's mentor, aka Meat Shield, because, well, Piccolo really just doesn't serve much of a purpose outside of that, as of late, he's really been nothing more than a very satellite character to Gohan, because pretty much Gohan and Piccolo have been sticking with each other throughout the whole tournament. And Piccolo, of course, has had his moments of awesome, and we've had a moment of awesome in the previous episode where Gohan and Piccolo team up to take out those Universe 6 Namekians. So we have an epic fight like that where they work together to take them out. And then in this episode, Piccolo gets eliminated very unceremoniously, which just majorly shits on Piccolo's character. As Piccolo's character has been shat on quite a lot throughout the series, as the first major example of him being shitted on was when he quitted in his match against Shin, the Supreme Kai, back in the Majin Buu saga. Because, of course, this is one where we're trying to build Shin up as this mysterious, powerful entity, but then, of course, once we see just how much of an incompetent loser Shin is, this just really makes Piccolo look like a total bitch for quitting to this guy when he could have easily mopped the floor with him. And then, of course, we have the Tournament of Destroyers in Dragon Ball Super, and in this one, we have Piccolo up against Frost, and then it was revealed that Frost was a cheater, so of course Frost should be getting disqualified for cheating, but then Vegeta goes on to say, no, don't do it, let me go in and fight him. So Piccolo forfeits in order for Vegeta to be the one to step in and beat Frost. Why couldn't Piccolo do it? Why couldn't Piccolo just continue his match with Frost, especially since now we see he's a cheater, however Vegeta's convincing the referee to not disqualify Frost? Because this has just been a whole lot of major character burials on Piccolo's part. He really hasn't done much of anything substantial in a long while, and there are many times where he could have even outright defeated a big bad of an arc, but he does not because, well, plot-induced stupidity. But anyway, this was just a huge shame that Piccolo went like this because, you know, Piccolo is definitely one of my favorite characters. As a matter of fact, I like Piccolo more than I like any Saiyan character in the series, and there was one time where Piccolo was showcased to be an absolute badass at their level, and would even go on to surpass them. As a matter of fact, he was the last major villain of Dragon Ball, and then we have him here, and slowly but surely Piccolo just started fading out of relevance. Now, of the characters introduced in Dragon Ball, it took Piccolo the longest to go into a state of can't keep up, but once he did, it hit him with a ton of bricks, and Dragon Ball Super has been going out of its way to really just make Piccolo seem pretty worthless now, despite the fact that Piccolo should be incredibly strong. And things should be done to, of course, make Piccolo continue to be relevant and not just simply regulate him to be Gohan's meat shield. But when it comes to the rest of this episode, it's just, it was a very bad idea to have this episode be where it is. Because, well, this is shit that I would expect around the beginning of the tournament. Because we have a bunch of fighters, they're very gimmicky because we've gone through a bunch of very gimmicky fighters because Universe 4 has a bunch of gimmicky fighters. Like we had the Howard the Duck looking motherfucker, we had that girl who uses her sex appeal to seduce her opponents, we had that other girl who did that genjutsu, and we had Majora who was blind, and he was completely unaffected by Krillin's solar flare. The thing about it is, Universe 4 has been the universe of gimmicks. Because really, they're just all so very gimmicky, and nothing that they do really works or really are that much of a threat. It's just, they're there to provide annoyance to the other universes. However, they can be quickly dealt with once you know what their game is, which it's very boring, and it just really makes these guys look underwhelming, especially their god of destruction, Kitella, because Kitella looks like a bitch, really. First of all, I think he's got one of the worst designs of the god of destruction. It's like, you know, he's this yellow mouse thing. He doesn't even look very intimidating. He just looks like a punk-ass little weasel anyway. But the thing that really makes it bad is like how they were building shit up where Kitella and Beerus, like you see they have a rivalry, so you think that there would be much more of a presence between the two of them. Kitella would have much more of a rivalry thing going, especially when we see everything leading up to this tournament. But then the tournament happens, and then no, he just really doesn't matter. He's just an annoying little weasel. That's really all the fuck he is. And then we still have his fighters during the late game in the tournament, which makes me wonder how the fuck did he manage to last so long? Well, the reason is because until now they've been avoiding Universe 7. They really did not deserve to last this long. It's really a fluke that they lasted this long. Because we have the other universes like the likes of Universe 2 and Universe 6 who have, of course, lasted a lot longer, and it's more understandable how they could have lasted longer, but then they get eliminated in the previous episode. However, they have more of a farewell to getting eliminated. There was much more emotion and story presence to them getting eliminated, whereas Universe 4 getting eliminated, it was just, oh, so that was their last fighters. Oh, alright, so they're gone now, whatever. Because that's what it really was, it was whatever. It's like, come on. We had lost Universe 9 at the very beginning of the tournament, and there was more weight behind their erasure. We had a lot more weight to it, as that was the biggest, like, holy shit moment of the tournament. However, that really didn't do much to really help the tone of the tournament change to the way it really should be, considering that everyone else could potentially wind up just like them, but I digress. The point is, Universe 4 really just didn't have any sort of a presence in this tournament, and just this episode was one that should have happened much earlier. And really, when you think about it, when you have this universe here, and we have these fighters in this episode where they're all just so very gimmicky, using this really dumb shit that obviously should not work. It's like, it just really makes me wonder what the fuck Toei's writing staff was thinking, especially when it comes to, like, making sure that everything is, like, going along the lines of how shit would be, where, you know, you would get rid of the gimmicky fighters first, so the serious fighters could remain towards the end. So my question is, how do you go from epic battles such as Goku versus Jiren to Goku versus Kefla to this? Like, really? These guys really did not deserve to last this long. They should have long since been eliminated. It really shows that Toei's writing staff really just do not know what the fuck that they are doing. This episode just completely just stopped any sort of momentum that this tournament have completely dead. It's like, okay, at this point, we're expecting only the most epic battles at this point because, well, this is where the stronger universes should still be around to do so, but then they pretty much have been eliminating universes and pretty much having Universe 7 be the ones to still have their major fighters left, and then in this episode they decide to get rid of Piccolo, so it's like, okay, we're rid of Piccolo now, so okay, we've gotten rid of the 3 weakest fighters of Universe 7, which are the ones that were giving Universe 4 trouble to begin with, and then we decide to have them lose Piccolo at the last minute, but it really doesn't even matter because they still have 6 powerhouses left on their team, so the placement of this really didn't make any fucking sense. It's just, what the fuck was Toei thinking? This just, when I see every episode of this tournament, it's like I'm already expecting to be thoroughly disappointed, but this episode went above and beyond on that. Because it's just, Universe 7 is just, has way too many fighters left. We only have 3 universes left, one of which was a universe that no one even expected to last this long. That would be the universe with all the robots, or what I like to call the Lord Lude universe. But we'll focus more on them in the next episode. But when it comes to here, it's just, oh my fucking god. This episode just brought all of the momentum of the tournament to a screeching halt. It brought the momentum of this tournament to a halt faster than the fourth Transformers movie, where the plot came to a screeching halt to explain why it was okay for a 20-year-old to be fucking a 17-year-old. So it's like, you have to know what to put in your content and know what place to put them. Like, when you're building an episode, when you're building a tournament arc, know where things should go, where it makes sense for things to go, and build on that accordingly. But no, this had to be by far the worst episode of the Tournament of Power, because it's just completely misplaced, and it's just an utter fucking waste of time, and they just proceeded to completely shit on a character that the series has really done a whole lot of shitting on, and it's becoming increasingly hard to believe how much of a badass this character once was, because Piccolo was once one of the most awesome characters in the series. However, he has been proceeded to continually get buried, and he was defeated by the absolute most pathetic universe and by the most pathetic fighter of that universe, to which I say, fuck you, Toei. Just fuck you, okay? Because I already don't have much expectations of this tournament or of the series anyways, but come on, to really just stoop this low, it's just when I think that this series can't possibly get any worse than it already is, you guys somehow manage to outdo yourselves. Suck my balls.
Bunch of stupid fuckers.
So what do you guys think of this? Be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Also, like and subscribe to my channel. So with that being said, that'll be the end of this video. Have a good day, everyone. This is Trace signing out.